Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Nerd Mode On. I officially have the next installment of my post-commentary gameplay videos for you guys today. Today we're going to be going over the AN-94, but to give you a little background information before we jump into the stats of the AN-94 and mag size and etc. I just kind of want to give you a little gist of the gameplay, and then we'll jump into that, and I'll give you my opinions over the weapons, pros, benefits, and unfortunately the cons of it. But to jump off, we're playing Grand Bazaar. I will be using the AN-94 as I've stated in the last commentary. A lot of the games you guys will see here over the next few days is obviously going to be from the AN-94. I went on a huge tear by trying to unlock the 500 kill thing for it, so I got the little dog tag, I guess, benefit. And so that's a lot of the gameplay you guys will probably be seeing. I know the last commentary had a little bit of chopper action. There really wasn't a whole lot of foot and ground mobile uniting on that one, but needless to say the least, let's jump right into the stats of the AN-94, and then we'll proceed to the next part to it. The AN-94 is going to do a 25 close range damage to your opponent, and then it's going to drop all the way down to 18.4 damage. And then while in the midst of those, depends on the range. If you're engaging somebody at 20 meters, you'll get a different thing. You'll probably do about 19.2 damage. So it just kind of depends on how far you are shooting the player to get your maximum and minimum damage. To jump into the mag size, it's going to be 31 rounds, which is pretty standard for a lot of the assault rifles. There are a few that kind of differ from that, like the G3A3. I know that's one. Just other ones later on in different categories and etc. But for the reload times on the AN-94, this is where it gets a little interesting, but they're kind of the same as a lot of the other ones. They kind of stay the same, don't really differ too much. It's going to take 2.6 seconds to reload the magazine as long as you have one bullet in there. If you have none, unfortunately you're going to be penalized by 3.5 seconds, which that's pretty intense to wait for, especially the gun, except for it has a pretty cool animation. It kind of just like flicks the clip out of there and slides the new one in, so I guess that's a benefit. The recoil, yeah, this is where I found it to be more interesting, but there's also things to counter it with special setups and attachments. The recoil is actually 0.3 up and then 0.3 to the right, so what's that telling you is it's going to go up and to the right. For anyone wanting to counter that, to make it a laser, basically you pull down and to the left. That can be a little bit more difficult on, I think, console, in my opinion. I know I've tried to counter it multiple times with different weapons, especially with the AN-94, but the higher sensitivity you have, the little bit easier it gets, because you're not getting suppressed as hard, so you can kind of pull it down faster due to the fact that your sensitivity is different. To jump into, I guess, my personal preference to it, I really would probably stray away from it due to the fact that it is 600 rounds per minute. If you put it on burst, though, you can actually bump it up to 1200, which is 1200 rounds per minute. That's pretty cool. I didn't actually experiment too much with the AN-94 and the burst feature, so a lot of the things that I'm going to say are really biased towards the automatic feature that it has. It's pretty cool. It actually does single fire, 2 burst, and fully automatic. So to kind of give you my gist of it in game, there's obviously better guns, guys. I mean, if you're going to use anything, just as well jump on the M16A3, wagon. But it's just something to kind of get away. Maybe you're going for the 5-star, which is the 500 kills, to get the little picture. I haven't seen a ton of them, probably because it's not something that's amazing, to be honest. It actually has a really low rate of fire. It's the only one that I think is lower that I can see as of right now is the G3A3, but that also has different stats. And then, due to the fact that it only has 21 bullets per mag, it actually has an increased in minimum and maximum damage. But that is just with that weapon that is being appointed. But you can go from the AN-94 in-game, and if you put it on full auto, I'd probably try to keep your engagements to close, maybe medium. If you're going to go long, I guess since it has a 1200 rounds per minute, I would probably switch it back to burst then, but you're going to find yourself really switching your rate of fires back and forth to engage. Especially on Grand Bazaar when the streets are, very long. You have Death Alley, which, unless you get a lucky little headshot, I mean, you're not going to be dropping many people very easily. I mean, you're going to be struggling compared to everyone else that's probably running, an M16, L86A2, or L85A2, I'm sorry. Just anything else, suppressing you down the hallway with any of the LMGs that have the bipod capabilities. So, I mean, it's a little bit of a difficult weapon. I definitely wouldn't recommend it in close quarters, because close quarters is all about rate of fire and maximum minimum damage. Well, I guess you could say controllability, but honestly, all the engagements are basically hip fire accuracy anyway. So I would definitely stray away from it if you're going to play that. Maybe if you're going to, I would probably recommend playing more of a defensive role then. Maybe positioning yourself somewhere near a flag, or if you're playing anything else like TDM, position yourself on a certain sector of the map so you can get a visual aid. Maybe up on Zimba Tower, you could be up on the little third-story balcony. That might be an alright place for it, because I think it's still going to be close, but it's going to be pushing that medium range where it's close to medium, so it's going to excel in those ranges. So that would be my suggestion if you're going to play that. Anything else, all the bigger maps in Battlefield 3, the original version, you're going to pretty much struggle. I mean, it's not the easiest weapon in the world, but in my eyes, it's kind of the worst, because the rounds per minute really doesn't assist you too well. To jump into preferred attachments, the ones I use the most, I did actually experiment with heavy barrel and the flash suppressor. I didn't use the just regular suppressor because the benefits of that do not outweigh the negatives, so I try to stray away from it. But to jump into the flash suppressor is thus going to decrease your vertical recoil by 50%, so it's going to be doing 1.5 pull up by a 0.3 to the right. So it's going to drift a lot more right than it's going to pull up then, just because of the right overtaking the vertical recoil. But I guess in heavy barrel terms, you're going to be able to engage targets at 75 meters then for the minimum, so that's going to make your damage over range a lot more precise, so you'll be hitting a lot harder. If you're trying to engage, medium range, you're going to be dropping, I don't know, like 20 point something. So, that could be a benefit. That's not terrible, but it's still not the best in the game by any means necessary. But if you're going to use either, in my eyes, I look at the flash suppressor as a better option, just because I don't like vertical recoil. It's a lot worse to compensate for. I'd rather get more of a shot off than having to deal with more recoil. I guess I wouldn't say more recoil, because the heavy barrel doesn't add recoil, it just doesn't compensate for it. So I guess in terms, it depends on what map you're playing and how you're playing it. I mean, if you're a beast at the AN-94, power to you. I mean, I struggled hard with it. I'm a 2.8 KD player, at least that's what stats are showing, so it sure wasn't something that I enjoyed too much. But if you're good at it, and maybe the burst feature actually does help quite a bit, I could see maybe the burst being a good option if you're going to use the heavy barrel, because you could be able to engage targets with the 2 bullets that you're shooting at a higher damage rate. So that might help a little bit. I just know for full auto it wasn't the most fun of a weapon to use. I didn't enjoy it very much, so that's kind of where I'm standing at it. As of every weapon class, there's always a gun that's going to excel everything else until a patch comes and disables that ability. But until then, maybe the AN-94 later on will get a buff. That's how I look at it. I could really see it probably getting a buff later on, but that just depends. I mean, you don't really see a whole lot of people running around with that gun in the first place, so it's kind of skeptical if they'll decide to change that or give it any kind of increase in damage or anything. So I guess only time will tell. So as of now, guys, in the gameplay, I mean, we got about a good 5 minutes left. I'm going to kind of jump into what the topic for the next commentary will be. For the M16A3, I plan to talk about, the upcoming patch for it. And the patch is interesting. Not everything is enlisted yet. As of DICE and EA, they're kind of still trying to take feedback. I mean, if you guys have anything that you want to tell them, I know they're always or at least there's somebody always on their Twitter, and telling them something's broken in the game doesn't always get fixed. I know that I've told them multiple times that there's some weapons that still excel, and they give you the whole we'll look into it stuff or whatever. So don't be discouraged if they don't always take it, but it's always good to bring something to their attention if you feel it should be fixed. I know they're a lot better than, unfortunately, Call of Duty. Call of Duty is kind of falling down a hole I don't know if they'll be able to get themselves back out of, but only time will tell. I don't know really what to say about the Call of Duty thing. I haven't really played that in quite some time, but back onto the M16A3, that's the only one I know that's going to be changed. I couldn't imagine the M16A4 getting changed just due to the fact that it's completely different. It's only a 2-burst and single shot, so it doesn't have the full auto capabilities. If you actually check out any of the damage charts online, you can obviously see, in my eyes, looks like a corruption in their charts. They actually have the exact same stats, which doesn't quite make a lot of sense if the M16A4 is only a 2-shot or 2-burst weapon. So maybe they'll fix that. If they're gonna make a 2-burst weapon, they should obviously increase the rate of fire if that's the only benefit to it. Or increase the damage. It should be excelling and higher damage if you have to shoot multiple times to kill one guy. So that's just my thoughts, guys. For sure, let me know what you guys think of the AN-94 and then the upcoming patch for the M16A3. If any of you guys are Call of Duty, Battlefield 3 players and you've used both of the weapons, for sure give me your input. Maybe I overlooked something about the AN-94 that I should maybe revisit and maybe make a later commentary about. Obviously it won't be as long because if there's something I overlooked, you guys don't need to hear the same information being pressed right back at you. But that is my stance on it. For sure, let me guys know in the comments. Another thing is, if you guys could take a few seconds, if you have that ability, to let me know if the quality looks up to date and back on track. I did upload a video yesterday, so if you are new to my channel and you have no idea what I'm talking about, the gist of what the channel is about, for sure, if you have time, you can always go check that out. And as for my subscribers that have been with me for some time now, you guys have known I've went through quite a bit of changing of the quality of the videos. From one point, I didn't know what rendering was, so hopefully we're getting back on the track and the quality is looking a lot better. Unfortunately, I'm not sure what this video will be rendered in. I did have a huge problem 2 days ago trying to upload in 1080, and it was trying to tell me it would take 4,275 minutes to upload. So obviously I don't have that long to wait, but I'm not sure if that was just a little glitch. Obviously you guys have seen I've actually uploaded in plenty of 1080 videos. So if this video is in 1080, then I got the problem fixed. If it's unfortunately not, that means that it's going to be in 720. So either way, it's still high quality video production, so I guess only time will tell what it shows up in and how it looks to you guys. But guys, unfortunately the gameplay is going to be coming to a close here in the next 38 seconds, so I'm going to kind of give you my own thoughts and then we're going to say our goodbyes. So AN-94, yeah, better guns in the game to use. Maybe later on patches will come. Future content, as was listed in the last video, would be Halo 3, Battlefield 3, and the upcoming Ghost Recon Future Soldier videos that I am currently working on. And I hope you guys enjoyed everything that I tried to give you guys for information about the weapon. I'm going to have to sign off, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. So, see ya. Peace.